Thanks for tuning in to The Source, your source for celebrity news. Check this out. Let me ask you a very serious question. If a friend that you're cool with, right, invites you to their church, and you walk into their church and sit down in the pews, and then the pastor walks out like this, are you staying for the sermon? Oh my goodness, I think that I would have to stay because I swear, I would have to hear what this dude had to say. I mean, my man came down that aisle with the tangerine bedazzled suit, with the James Brown wig with like the big roller set cocked to the side. I am done. Alright, let me get back to business. Anyhow, the other day A$AP Rocky was doing an interview, and during the show, the interviewer asked him how him and Rihanna intend to keep their kids grounded and down to earth, and also, how do they intend to instill certain values in their children, because their children are privileged with two mega rich parents and definitely don't live the same lifestyle that him and Riri had when they were growing up. And A$AP Rocky was like, what the cuff you mean? Not our kids. Our kids are gonna have the same experiences that we both had growing up. Watch this.
You impart that onto your children because they're surely not gonna be able to live the same childhood you lived. Yes, they do. How? Man, let me show you Lil RZA last night, bro. Look. This is my little man right here. A$AP Rocky and Rihanna's kids aren't gonna walk to a corner store in the middle of the night to go, why the not? Because they are the children of A$AP Rocky and Rihanna. But they still human. Like, they human beings, man. Look, this is him last night. He was walking to the corner store. How different are your and Rihanna's parenting styles? She's fun as I mean, she's a mom. I'm a dad, she's a female, I'm a male, and I think that's the only difference is we both silly. She played too much, like she liked the pranking like that. When my kid was born, it was all about mom. A little after he turned 2, it was like, it's all about dad. And I was like, nah, not prepared for it. It always starts out, it's always about dad.
Yo, let me find out that A$AP Rocky and Rihanna have their kid walk into the corner store to pick up some chips and a quart of water. Anyhow, even though I appreciate their attempt to raise their kids with some semblance of normalcy, I don't think that it's possible, because as a kid, once you find out that your parents have more than $1 billion in a bank, I mean, everything's different. Everything is different. I mean, for real. Do you guys remember when you were young in elementary school and the teacher would notify the class that everybody was going on a field trip the next week to the aquarium, and they would hand you that permission slip, and that permission slip would say they needed like $3 by Monday, and you'd be like, ooh, don't know if I'm gonna be able to go on this one. I gotta go home and break this to my parents, $3. And then your friends would be over there on the playground talking about, you going on a field trip? We gonna have fun. And you'd be like, I don't know. I gotta go home and talk to the parents to find out if this one is financially feasible. I mean, listen, $3 used to be a lot. But as kids, we used to have to think about money. So my question is this: is it possible for A$AP Rocky and Rihanna to raise their kids up to be mad normal and also offer them the same kind of childhood that they both had if their kids never really have to worry about money? Let me know in the comments, and while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Now, peep this. The other day, Olympic athlete Janelle Bloomfield opened up about facing colorism and criticism for her Afrocentric features during the 2024 Summer Olympics, and she also revealed that she's been getting cyberbullied because of her complexion. Now, after she shared some of the negative comments that some people made about her because of the darker hue of her skin, Jamaican dancehall artist Spice hopped on live and dedicated a song to Janelle, encouraging Janelle to be confident. Watch this.
Representation, no bleaching, no alteration. Looking in the mirror, my reflection, beautification, yeah, black creation, black redemption, the complexion, I'm beautiful, black perfection. Oh, they just act like they don't know. Beauty's all over me and my melanin glow. When I look in the mirror, all I see a black hero, black royalty looking back at me. Hero. All I see a black hero, black royalty. like them did me in a honey.
Okay, I like it. Alright, so after Spice dropped her new song, she also wrote, I love you, my queen. I'm so proud of you. You are a superhero. Black sensation, admiration, black perfection. I want to dedicate my song called Mirror from my album 2025 to you. Now, after Spice dropped her anti-colorism song, a whole bunch of people came in the comment section, and one person was like, this colorism has got to stop. This is 2024. And then somebody else was like, it's 2024. This ish is so tired. How is melanin still a novel experience for some people? Listen, I don't know how many different ways that I need to say that colorism in the black community needs to stop, because this whole light skin versus dark skin thing is simply a tool that slave masters used to use to divide and conquer the souls of black folk. See, when Europeans raped Africa of its resources and people and marched the millions of black bodies that they caught and sometimes bought through the doors of no return at slave ports like Elmina to put them on ships and force them to endure the Middle Passage voyage to the quote-unquote New World, they understood that physical restraints would not be enough to keep Africans captive. Therefore, they also began to implement systems of psychological warfare on our people, and they also began to indoctrinate us with the belief that light-skinned slaves held more value than dark-skinned slaves. Until this day, a lot of us are still forwarding and promoting the white slave master's agenda in our own communities. Sure, we're no longer walking around like chattel with chains on. However, many of us are still walking around with psychological baggage left over from slavery. And guess what? Colorism is one of those things. And we really need to stop it. We gotta stop with all of this, ooh, she light-skinned with that good hair. What in the hell is good hair? Listen, let me tell you something. It's 2024 and there's absolutely no reason whatsoever that this beautiful black melanated sister should have to endure cyberbullying based on the color of her skin. We come in all colors and shades, and all are equally beautiful. And if you're somebody who believes that the closer your skin color is to white, the better you are sadly mistaken, and you really need to think about where the origins of your thinking really come from. I don't know, people. We gotta do better, because how in the world are we supposed to tackle bigger issues within the black community if we can't even get past these small things such as skin color, which keep us divided? We gotta stop it. We gotta stop being out here thinking like massa, because essentially what they got us doing is their work for them, which is to divide and conquer the black community. And guess what? That's what slavery was all about. Us doing their work for them. But while we're on this topic of colorism, let me share this. The other day, Cardi B received a lot of backlash because after seeing a couple of her photos, some people on social media accused Cardi of bleaching her skin. Now, when Cardi B saw that, she was like, oh my goodness, not again. Let me get online and clear this up. So, Cardi jumped online and she wrote, why must y'all be so dumb? Actually, no. I'm pregnant, I'm slightly anemic, this baby sucking all of the energy off my body to the point I'm pale, eyes sunken, veins green as F, can't tan under the sun because I get hot super fast and dizzy. Please, stop thinking with your a-hole. Source, can we please see a before and after picture of Cardi right quick? Listen, if Cardi says that she's not over there slathering Ambi on her skin like it's Johnson's & Johnson's baby oil, then I believe she's not over there doing that. But for all you people out there who are out there using bleaching creams in hopes that you're going to go from looking like Mike in 1976 to looking like Michael Jackson in 1996, let me tell you a quick story. I have an aunt. Let's call her Aunt TT for the purposes of this video. And this aunt lives down south, and she made it her mission to bleach her skin. Why? Because she was unhappy with her skin color, right? So when I was 6 or 7 years old, I went down south to one of the family reunions and I met this chick, and she looked exactly like Amber Rose. Exactly. Same skin color, same haircut, everything. I mean, she could have been Amber Rose's twin. Okay, so 20 years goes by and I hadn't seen Aunt TT in all of those years. So then I go to another family reunion and I'm sitting next to my great-grandmother and I'm like, oh snap, I haven't seen Aunt TT. Where's Aunt TT? And my great-grandmother's like, what are you talking about? She's sitting right there. And she points to a woman who looks exactly like Lupita Nyong'o. And I said, no, I'm talking about Aunt TT. Where's Aunt TT? And my great-grandmother was like, I said she's right there. You don't recognize her because now she black. So apparently what happened is this. After 15-20 years of consistently using these bleaching creams to try to lighten herself, those creams eventually stopped working and instead started to have the opposite effect and actually started to hyperpigment her skin to the point where now she's 10 times darker than when she first started. Listen, let me tell y'all something out there. Y'all need to stop messing around with all these bleaching creams. I mean, it's one thing to touch up a spot if you burn yourself with a flat iron, but to be out here bleaching your whole face and body because you want to look more European is crazy. But that reminds us once again how much we've been influenced by masses thinking. Anyhow, instead of being out here trying to whiten up and lighten up, what we really need to do is wisen up and embrace our melanin. Why? Because it's our body's built-in protector and beauty enhancer. And research shows that people who lack melanin are also more prone to skin problems and diseases such as cancer. Now, the other day, Trick Daddy was in the car with one of his female friends, and he was like, what's up with y'all black women trying to adhere to white beauty standards? What's up with these baby hairs? Check this out.
Y'all trying to be like white women. The white women been trying to be like y'all for 150 years. Now y'all doing all the white women do. I don't get it.
I can't believe you have a problem with my baby hairs.
Them ain't no baby hairs. You's a grown woman.
My edges.
You a grown woman. Them is not baby hairs.
Well, they cute.
And I've been seeing girls with them standing up now. What do it mean when they stand up? Like they standing up like they wanna be free.
Why would they be standing up? Oh, you mean like nappy or like out of
No,
place?
like it's not flat. It's
not laid up.
You know, yeah, it's not laid. They don't put enough gel on it.
It's because that's the old way. Having crunchy, tight, put together baby hairs is tacky. You have to have natural.
You use
like how mine move.
You use edge control.
I do, but that edge control doesn't make your baby hair stay down forever. This is not real hair. Making a regular hair.
They're like baby hairs. Baby hairs leave when you're 2.
You need to grow up.
Trick Daddy said, baby hairs leave when you're 2. Now, check this out. If you watch the show, then recently you know that I've been having a whole bunch of fun with these videos from these Ring doorbells, okay? So I'm getting ready to show you another one, and this time, the video shows a young woman walking up onto a porch with her 2 kids, and one of her kids is in the stroller, but then she encounters a bug. Check out this chick's reaction. Now, after people saw this video, a whole bunch of people came in the comment section and had something to say. And one person said, this lady was literally fighting for her life with that bug. She should carry to that stroller once it dawned on her. Y'all thinking way too deep. Thank God that baby is okay. But it's obvious she was being attacked. And then somebody else was like, I feel like she handled this appropriately. The baby was safer than she was in that moment. And then somebody else was like, all I see here is a great mom. She evaded a bug, saved the baby from danger, and the eldest knew better than to run into the street. Get off her back. And then, last but not least, somebody else came through and said, I'ma judge her. Who puts their baby life in danger over a bug? Y'all be bugging. Listen, let me say this. I don't think that she did it on purpose. I think that her body went in a fight or flight, and her body chose flight. Now, whether or not that's right or wrong, I don't know. But let me know. Have you ever gotten mad scared? I mean, scared out of your mind and turned around and jetted off on your kids? Now, of course this doesn't apply to the kid in the stroller, but I have one hard and fast rule that I share with all of the kids around me. I don't care whether it's at school or whether it's all of the kids that are around me at home. And that is this. If you see me run, you better start running. You know how we do. trying to tell people, as soon as you see me do the stutter step and then pivot and take off, you better take off too. And speaking about taking off, a whole lot of people on the internet are thinking that Trina Braxton may have to take off from her new husband Vaughn, because the other day the two of them were doing an interview and they started talking about how Trina responded to both the passing of her ex-husband Gabe and her sister Tracy. And her new husband said that the way that Trina grieved for Gabe looked very similar to the way that she grieved for Tracy, and he wasn't feeling it.
What was said on the episode is that she felt like she was punished for grieving. And that was absolutely true. I was angry because, and since we're having this conversation, and here's the thing, this wasn't my idea. She asked me if we would talk about this tonight. I did. And anybody that knows me knows that I don't bite my tongue because I don't really care what people think of me. So I'm just going to say it. If you want my honest opinion, yes, I don't see a lot of difference between the way you grieved for Tracy and Gabe. It looked the same to me. There was a little more heat behind Tracy, of course, because it's your sister. But it didn't, to me, and I have nothing to measure it against when Gabe died, so I didn't know anything, but I knew I didn't like it. Because to me, the grief seemed too strong for someone you'd had all those problems with. That's my opinion, because that's the way I look at the world. Now we had a number of conversations about it. We had a number of arguments about it. But it wasn't until Tracy passed and I had time to reflect, probably sitting, on a mountain somewhere by myself, that I'm like, you know what? Those two grieving didn't look all that different to me. And that made me angry. So to me, the grief looked like you still had real strong feelings for the dude. And which made me think, well, what am I doing here? And this is in the moment. We're talking in 2018. We were a year in when this happened. We were a little over a year in when it happened, but it just, I didn't like any parts of it. Now, you can't tell anybody how to grieve. Nope, I wasn't. I was just I wasn't trying to tell her, you need to grieve this way. I was just saying that from my perspective, it just looked to be a bit much.
Now, after Trina's new husband shared his dismay about her grieving process, a whole bunch of people came in the comment section, and one person said, so crazy that he thinks that a man that she's been with, married, and had a family with for 16 years, that she's not supposed to grieve him. Trina, run. And then somebody else was like, how the F you gonna be jealous of dead people? And then somebody else was like, your wife is grieving the loss of her sister, and all you could think about was her ex-husband, another man? And then, last but not least, somebody else came through and was like, this is disturbing. He's passive-aggressive and mean to her. Okay, so I gotta admit, I found this interview to be cringeworthy, because how in the world are you gonna tell Trina how to grieve? How are you gonna tell her that she's grieving at a level 10, but she needs to bump it down to a level 6? And I didn't like the way that he said that he punished her emotionally because he was not happy with the way that she was grieving. And then my man had the nerve to say that in his time of deep reflection, he was over there comparing how she was grieving for Gabe with how she was grieving for Tracy. I mean, come on, man. Who does that? Okay, obviously you do it, but who else does that? Listen, let me know in the comments. Is Trina's new husband right for having a grievance with the way that she was grieving her ex-husband Gabe? Let me know in the comments. Now, check this out. The other day, a dude went to the airport because he wanted to catch his flight. But when he got there, the gate was closed because he was late. Now, once he found out that the gate was closed because he was late, he threw the following tantrum.
Your name! I'm gonna put 911!
I called them for you already. You don't have to call. And I'm Tisha. T-E-S-H-A.
What?
T-E-S-H-A.
What do you mean, T?
You asked my name. It's Tisha. T-E-S-H-A.
I like your hair. I don't need your name.
You asked it.
Don't do that!
They blocked my flight. They blocked my flight. They blocked my flight. I don't know why.
Not one tear.
What's your name? You have to talk to my husband right now. I need to go. I need to see my mom. I need to see my mom. But she said, I'm not gonna talk to anyone. Could you please talk to my husband? I'm kind. I'm a teacher. I'm a beautiful person. I'm happy to see my mom. I need to see my mom.
I understand that, but you have a very high risk of this, so I cannot set you in the fight. I'm sorry. I don't know. It looks like it's hard. I cannot talk to it.
Judgment.
Talk to the
Judgment, and you know?
That's not
Jealousy. Jealousy. You're jealous. You know what?
Yeah.
Wait.
Hold on, get my good side. Hold on.
Jealousy. Jealousy. No human being. No human being. No human being. Only to see my mother.
So again, rebooking is next to D37 for rebooking.
I don't need your advice.
Now, after people saw that video, you know darn well that everybody was in the comment section cracking jokes. And one person was like, I like your hair, I don't need your name, has me in tears. And then somebody else was like, oh no, it's low-key given jealousy. And then somebody else was like, it's how he turned it on and off for me. I don't know what to believe anymore. And then after that, rapper Scarlett from New York came through in the comment section and she was like, I like him. Listen, for some odd reason, I like him too, and I hope that he got to see his mother. But you gotta admit that fake behind baby tantrum that he was throwing in that airport was fake as hell. Cause I mean, my man was turning it on and off like a light switch. And then you gotta love the TSA worker who was like, take my picture from the good side. I am done. But I gotta admit that this dude's tantrum at the airport may not have been as good as this dude's tantrum at the airport. Check this out.
Baby missed my flight. What we gonna do? You missed my flight. Don't be trying to blame this all on me. I'm back because of you, hoe. So what we gonna do? What we gonna do? Besides you keep recording me. Yeah, no, I'm cute. You ain't. But what we gonna do?
I'm sorry, I ain't hear you.
What we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
You're still gonna do. Still fucking do.
I mean, you can record all day. I'll drain your battery, bitch. But what we gonna do?
Listen, let me ask y'all a question. What we gonna do? Oh my goodness. My question is this. What in the world is up with all of these dramatic dudes out here nowadays? I mean, you didn't see this like 30, 40, 50 years ago. I mean, for real. They must be putting something in the water. Now, somebody else who believes that black men are out here wilding out is Plies. Because the other day, Plies jumped on Twitter to address black voters, especially black men, who say that they won't be supporting Kamala Harris in this upcoming presidential election. In a post on Twitter, Plies wrote, Dear black men who's searching for a reason not to like Kamala Harris, look your daughters or nieces in their face and tell them it'll be black men like yourself who are going to question their blackness, their resume, and their existence if they ever try to do the impossible in this country. Now, after Plies shared his opinion, a whole bunch of people came in the comment section, and one person was like, Plies, you're so doggone smart. Wish we had more brothers like you. Critical thinking is very important, and you have that naturally. Keep doing what you're doing. Harris Waltz 2024, vote blue up and down the ballot. And then somebody else was like, that's the crazy part. How can you deny a woman from doing the impossible, but want your own daughters to do the impossible? And then somebody else was like, and here we go again. The comment section full of black men who have not shown black women support for most of their lives. It's a shame that black men hate us so much. But but I understand why. Not only did Willie Lynch show us a thing or two on how to be divided, but boy, didn't our music industry and reality TV and Instagram show us who we really are as a people? Our community is doomed because we don't have black male leadership that leads with love and protection for us women. We're the only race of people in this country that demean us women. Sad. And then somebody else came through and was like, bruh, this ain't that and that ain't this. Stop the dumb ish. And then, last but not least, somebody else came through and was like, the only black and white that matters in politics is what happens when that pen hits the paper. Listen, let me know in the comments, do you think that Plies is right when he says, black men, what are you doing? How in the world are you going to tell your daughters that anything is possible and then walk into that voting booth and vote against Kamala and vote for Trump? Y'all are wilding out right now. And last but not least, that brings us to Jermaine Dupri, who's like, who cares whether Kamala is black or Indian? Let's just agree on the fact that she's colored and more qualified than Trump.
We never thought we'd see a black person, period. She's not black. She's not black. All right. Okay. She's a person of color. All right. So let's just say that. People of color, to get in the position that she's in right now, is not no easy feat. And it's not something that America thought they would fucking ever see. Let's do that. Y'all ain't gotta say she's black. She's a person of color. Brown, tan, whatever the fuck y'all want to call it, that's saying she's not black. Whatever that is, she's a person of color. And you know, like I know, you ain't never thought that you would see nobody, person of color, woman, in a position to become the president of the United States. The hate that she has to deal with being a person of color. Y'all want her also to be a vice president, to do shit that vice presidents ain't never ever did. Y'all fucking tripping, man. Jermaine Dupri, she's not a person of color. What the fuck is she then? Oh my God, what is she? Somebody tell me, what is she? She's not a person of color. What is she? You said that's not a reason to elect her? Yo, you're right. That's not a reason to elect her. I'm a person. I'm not saying you should elect her because she's a person of color. I think that you should elect her because she's the best person qualified for the job. Matter of fact, she's more qualified. That's what I'm saying. Qualified? This is her life. Donald Trump is a fucking real estate person.
Now, after Jermaine Dupri reminded us that Donald Trump is a real estate person, somebody came in the comment section and they were like, she ain't done nothing for us but open the border. Trump 2024, US. I'm not quite sure that it's true that Kamala Harris has done nothing for black people. So, let's get our facts straight.
Man, hell no, I ain't voting no Kamala Harris for president. What has that lady ever did for black people? Watch this. What has Kamala Harris ever did for black people?
Kamala Harris has undertaken several initiatives and actions that have aimed to benefit black Americans, both as a U.S. Senator and as Vice President. As a U.S. Senator, advocating for criminal justice reform. First Step Act. Harris supported the bipartisan First Step Act, which aimed to reform the criminal justice system, including reducing mandatory minimum sentences for nonviolent drug offenses, which disproportionately affect black communities. Anti-lynching legislation. Harris co-sponsored the Justice for Victims of Lynching Act, which aimed to make lynching a federal hate crime. Justice in Policing Act. Harris co-authored this comprehensive police reform bill, which includes measures to ban chokeholds, establish a national database of police misconduct, and end qualified immunity for law enforcement officers. Harris introduced the LIFT, Livable Incomes for Families Today, the Middle Class Act, which proposed a tax credit that would benefit low and middle income families, including many black families. Rent Relief Act. Harris introduced legislation aimed at providing rent relief to families spending more than 30% of their income on rent, benefiting many black Americans facing housing affordability issues. As Vice President, Harris has supported and advocated for measures within the American Rescue Plan, which included significant funding for black-owned businesses, expanded the child tax credit, and provided direct financial support to families disproportionately affected by the pandemic. including Black Americans. Harris has championed the Black Maternal Health Momnibus Act, which addresses the Black maternal health crisis through investments in social determinants of health, funding for community-based organizations, and improvements in data collection and research. Harris has been a vocal advocate for the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act and the For the People Act, aimed at protecting and expanding voting rights, particularly for communities of color. Harris has worked to secure increased funding for historically Black colleges and universities, HBCUs, recognizing their critical role in providing education and opportunities for Black students. These efforts reflect her ongoing commitment to addressing issues that disproportionately impact Black Americans.
She still ain't black.
Wow, for somebody who doesn't do anything for Black people, she sure does do a lot for Black people. Listen, let me know what you think about A$AP Rocky saying his kids aren't being raised to be privileged. They're being raised the same way him and Riri were. As a matter of fact, his son walked to the store. Olympic athlete Janelle Brumfeld saying that she's been getting cyberbullied because of her complexion. Dancehall artist Spice saying stay strong and dedicating a new anti-colorism song to Janelle. Cardi B saying that she isn't over there bleaching her skin, especially now that she's pregnant. Trick Daddy saying that some of y'all Black people are out here trying to emulate white beauty standards. The woman who ditched her baby in a stroller to run from the bug. Trina's new husband having a problem with the way that she grieved her ex-husband Gabe. The men throwing tantrums in the airport. Plies questioning Black men who don't support Kamala Harris. And Jermaine Dupri saying who cares whether or not Kamala's Black or Indian. She's colored, and what matters most is that she's more qualified than Trump. Let me know what you think about all of that in the comments, and while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to The Source, your source for celebrity news. Peace.